Well, right now, all she has to do is pass out her flyer, go door to door. Because Cushenberry wanted marijuana to be passed out like you go through for hamburgers. And,
that became a huge issue in this community. There was marijuana dispensers everywhere. I got so many calls.
They're still there.
Yeah, yes. But you know
and
what?
Some
We
of them
also
operating
need
illegally, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They haven't shut down.
What's the listener's name?
Matilda?
Miss Matilda. You know what she needs to? She needs you to go out and campaign with her. She can't knock on all those doors.
Once she gets her flyers, I will be helping her to campaign.
Good.
The other thing, the reason the mayor has the control over all the districts, with districts, the mayor has hired a person to work with each council person, and Charlie Beckham is a supervisor of those people. So the mayor feels like he can relax. But I say anybody except Duggan, as long as he's putting this water fee on churches.
This is an educational moment for me. You just said that Mayor Duggan has hired a person per council person to work with that council person to get reelected?
And they were there all the time. I just found out the other day when Charlie Beckham was on somebody's show, I'm not sure who it was, but he works for the mayor. Those persons report to him. Now, he's qualified to be mayor himself, but he works for Beckham. He works for the mayor. Charlie Beckham works for the mayor, and he works, and he has one in each district. That's why the mayor's just kind of coasting.
So Miss Matilda's right. So this is McNamara kind of politics. I'm not going to say it real because nobody else wants me to say it. But what is this is the neighborhood district representative. This is the city, how we all had neighbor city hall.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a district person in each district, council district. And that person's job description has expanded. Okay. Supposedly off the city clock.
I was there to say so taxpayers are paying for them to help.
So off the city clock, they are getting involved in the city city council elections. You have the one for Southwest Detroit coming and trying to support, Raquel, even though he's been asked to run against her, and then, so there was a lot of control, and, all these things are rumors, but there is a sense and a feeling that if you do him wrong, he will find someone and will run someone against.
And I have a good example.
Let me just tell you this. I want Steve to give us your example. Thank you, Matilda.
Okay.
Mary Sheffield has not been a friend of Duggan's, and Duggan is the one. And I know some people are going to agree with me because this is supposed to be a secret or something, but he's the one who encouraged and said, "I'm going to back Jewel Ware to get rid of Mary Sheffield." So if you are concerned about Mayor Duggan and you don't like his policies and you think that city council is rubber stamping initiatives, then consider your vote on Sheffield versus Ware.
Well, let me just tell you, my read on that is differently. Because Mary Sheffield has been very good to Mayor Duggan. And to the extent, now I have people who, if they had to testify in court, will say to you that her father has told them that the mayor was going to make Mary city council president.
That's right.
And one of those individuals, you heard that too?
Yes.
One of those individuals said to me,
from numerous sources,
she said to her father, "You need to stop telling people that." I'm not convinced that the mayor is upset with Mary. I'm just not convinced. You may be right, Steve, but she's been very good to the mayor. Because if you look at Mary's voting record, Mary only went away from Duggan when votes were securely in place.
That's right.
To pass his agenda. She's been very respectful and very kind and very good to him. So I think whatever this angst is, it's not about Mary. It's about her father. Now,
That's possible. Very, very possible.
Yeah. I mean, look, Commissioner Jewel Ware is very well respected and so forth. But and I'm going to say something again controversial, whatever. But Commissioner Ware has some sort of hold on absentee voters. It's like in her district, and I want to say it because it smells funny and it feels funny. And when you go, and this is after I got redistricted, I had downtown. So I was door knocking, going into buildings, And people were like, Jewel Ware and Jewel Ware. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Commissioner Ware? What's going on here about, absentee applications and about, there needs to be a full-blown, discussion publicly about the rules and laws regarding the handling of absentee ballots. I'm very, very scared because I've heard that you can hire Commissioner Ware to help with AVs, is from what I understand. Now,
I think that's a pretty slippery slope. To say you've heard that, that almost puts,
That's true.
some implications out there that I'm a little uncomfortable with. Okay. I think that we all, as elected officials, certainly we know that there's 2 elections in any race. And absentee votes is a part of an election. Early voting is part of an election. Although we don't have it legally, we do vote in person. But I think that any true politician worth their weight in salt understands that you should have an engagement process in which you reach out to those that are most committed to the voting process, and that is absentee voters. Mm-hmm. So I know that the East Side Slate, a number of those members over there, Inner City Sub Center, have worked very well in organizing efforts to ensure that they get out the vote, providing rides, support. We have an illiteracy challenge in a lot of ways where people need assistance. So I'm a little uncomfortable with that. I think that she's worked very closely with her constituency to understand the needs that they have and have assisted them as the organizations that she worked very closely with.
Yeah, this is my experience from talking to the residents in many of the apartment buildings where there are predominantly AV voters. I was very uncomfortable in the conversations I was having with them. I never questioned. I just told them, then you should talk to Commissioner Ware about your absentee ballot.
Okay, let me just tell you this. I've broken every rule in here. You see my producer over there? I missed a couple of breaks. I probably won't get paid next week. I'll probably get a pink slip at the end of the show. But anyway, I got to just hold on one more minute, okay? I promise you. Hold on one more minute. I know we got guests.
Pointing to the screen.
She's pointing to a guest out in the lobby, but here's the deal. Who ends up in the runoff for the mayor's job?
Well, it'll be Coleman Young and Mayor Duggan.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any other choice.
Right.
Well, I think Eric Williams may have gotten on the ballot.
It'll be
sure.
Yeah,
I know, but
yeah.
I agree. But I just want to say that I know he did submit enough signatures.
Is it likely that we didn't talk about the city clerk's race?
Yeah.
Is it likely that Janice Winfrey no longer has the support of the mayor, and she's the last one to know? Okay, Steve, what do you think?
It's very possible. If Mayor Duggan is supporting her, I really have some serious questions about him, about how serious he takes elections. So I think that's going to be very interesting because there's a lot of interesting candidates in there, and there's
you got Hester Wheeler. You have who has
Adam. Yeah.
You've got a very impressive young man, Gilchrist, first time out running for public office. I don't know where his money is coming from or if he has any. He is very impressionable. But you have, again, Hester Wheeler, Janice Winfrey.
Adam, I can't remember his last name.
He pulled out.
Did he pull out?
Yeah, he pulled out. Yeah.
He's no longer, he's going to go over and run for state rep, I understand. Is it state rep or state senate? One of those?
Well, I've heard both. I've heard the possibilities of state rep. I think Rosemary Robinson's district, but also
all I know is it's again recycled names.
Yeah,
so expect him somewhere.
So Rashida's recruiting people.
I have been for years, so I am. So I know Lacey Dawson, Amber, Monique, all of them. They need to. Larissa Carr. They know who they are. I've been begging them to I've been sending them, webinars and encouraging them, but it's hard, especially women. They tend to look for permission to run for office, but also they actually really care, and they want to